Why did you actually click on this video? Are you expecting me to give you some kind of Nick Fuentes pseudo-intellectual argument as to why Somalis have lower IQ than average? Do you want me to tell you how the studies and research show that intelligence and the ability to learn and analyze things are actually largely fixed and there's nothing you can do about it, so we can all share in that misery, but you can feel smart because you think that you're the exception? Or are you hoping for me to dispel that myth, to give you some kind of secret step-by-step guide to get you from 100 IQ to 140 IQ? Because all I can actually do is explain to you my experience and my knowledge of how learning and the brain actually work. And what is that? What was I able to achieve? What was I able to learn, and why does it matter? If I told you I was able to repeatedly at a deep level learn complex topics very quickly, that I basically learned all of A-level maths, for example, maths and physics in a month, and was able to do so well enough and to a deep enough level that I got a full scholarship to study maths and physics at university, that I was able to again at university study all of the topics in all of my modules in 1 month after having not done any studying for any of those subjects at any other point in the year. If I told you that you can go through my entire channel right now and literally witness in real time my analysis and explanations of different topics that I have learned for myself, what would you say? Because on the one hand, you could go back to the studies and the research and talk about IQ differences between ethnicities and culture and upbringing and the black pill and how everything is genetically determined, because you're viewing intelligence through this really specific metric called IQ. But on the other hand, you could reflect back on yourself and start to ask yourself the question that I asked at the start of the video. Why do you care? Why did you click onto this video? Why is intelligence important to you? Is it so that you can attach yourself to this metric called IQ, or is there actually something that you seek to gain from intelligence, whether that be money or education or status in a community? Your interest in intelligence will always go back to some real world practical desire. And once we understand that, we can have a much more useful and nuanced conversation, because we're no longer talking about, can I go from 100 IQ to 140 IQ, manufactured genius on this on this arbitrary curve that someone made up 200 years ago. And instead we're asking, can I learn this complex topic or skill? Can I do it quickly? How quickly? Can I pass the exam? Can I upgrade my business? And this is something I can actually talk about, because the answer is definitively yes. Yes, there are mental models that are more effective than others. Yes, there are techniques to learn things extremely quickly and deeply. Yes, there are actual physical inputs that you get from nutrition and sleep, etc., and mental training that literally rewire your brain itself, how it works, and what you are able to do with it. That much I can say confidently and be evidence of myself. In fact, this is exactly what I teach. The first link in the description is a free community and a course that discusses exactly how to do this. But really the message in this video is to stop focusing on the surface level topics that people talk about and start digging a bit deeper and asking yourself on a deeper meta level what it is that you actually want, why you're actually interested in something, and start connecting the dots that people don't usually connect, so that you're actually able to be objective and create plans and achieve specific things. If you clicked on a video about IQ and intelligence, I can tell you right now that that very act is the very first step. Being able to question and reflect and analyze things on a deeper meta level. That alone will set you apart from 99% of people when it comes to learning complex things like physics, mathematics, but even outside of academia, understanding human psychology better, being able to think in terms of systems and connect dots where other people don't connect dots. That's what I've been able to do now in various fields, and do so incredibly quickly. And I thought I'd share that with you because the vast majority of people you'll interact with, and even, for example, educational content creators on things like YouTube, think in terms of black and white. It's very hard to separate the surface topic of what you're initially talking about and to be able to connect that to some other deeper thing that you can interact with. This is the kind of thing that you get trained on in mathematics. This is the kind of thing that I was trained on in mathematics. It's meta reflection, it's systems thinking, and mathematics is a very good way at training this thing. It's almost comparable to if someone plays a sport and they go to the gym to exercise or train for that sport, right? Like nothing they do in the gym in particular will ever be used directly in that sport necessarily. Like when you're doing a bicep curl, you're never going to bicep curl with weights when you play football, but the very act of just training that muscle is going to help you when you're doing something within the sport. When you're making a tackle and you need to stand strong and firm and perhaps push someone away with your arm like that. That's the point. These are skills and techniques that you train that were introduced to me through studying mathematics, but actually have nothing to do with mathematics necessarily and don't need to come from mathematics. Subscribe to the channel if that resonates with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.